Welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. Let's take a look at your headlines first.
Employees of the Palavatta and Sevanagala sugar factories stage a protest opposite Parliament. A supplementary estimate of 65,000 million rupees to be presented in Parliament. Another gum at the project declared open at a school in Matara. Indian heatwave kills 95 as temperatures soar to 50 degrees Celsius.
And in local news, a supplementary estimate of 65 million rupees will be presented to Parliament today. Meanwhile, the draft bill to abolish the revival of underperforming enterprises or underutilised assets act has been presented to Parliament by the Leader of the House, Lakshman Kiriyalla. Stay tuned to News First. We will have more updates on the parliamentary proceedings on our bulletins to come. Meanwhile, moving into another local news, employees of the sugar factories in Palavatta and Sevanagala staged a protest opposite the parliamentary complex this morning.
Our correspondent said that the employees protested opposite the entrance to the parliamentary complex. Over 1,000 protesters have joined the protest. They charged that the two factories should not be handed over to the private sector under the Revival of Underperforming Enterprises or Underutilised Assets Act and should continue to be operated under supervision of the government. The protesters said that the protest will continue until discussions are held with the Prime Minister and a decision is made. Vehicular movement in the area was hampered due to the protest.
Another stage of the program to hand over Samudri to 600,000 individuals was held in Homagama yesterday.
This was held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Ministers Thayagamage Ravi Karunanayaka, Dr. Harsha De Silva, Eran Wickramaratne and other MPs representing the Colombo district were present at the event. Samurdhi was presented to 4,500 beneficiaries from the Colombo district. 21 years were spent to present Samurdhi to 600,000 people. Our opponents say that they have given this country a strong government. They say the country doesn't have a government now. So I question, if the government was so strong, why couldn't you present this 600,000? The issue won't be solved just because 11,522 beneficiaries are awarded with this. Our motive is to provide these people with jobs. When interest rates of our neighbouring nations stand at 6 to 7%, in Sri Lanka it's 15 to 16%. We have such a central bank. That's why people are unable to obtain a loan. If this loan can be obtained at such a rate as 5%, we don't need Samurdhi beneficiaries. That's the best investment to be done. Postponing this is what brings much damage to the nation.
Meanwhile, in other local news, the National Crafts Council convened a media briefing yesterday.
The event was attended by the officers of the National Crafts Council and several local handicraftsmen. Our duty is to formulate and implement proper policies on behalf of handicraftsmen without incorporating any hidden or personal agendas. If proper policies are formulated and accepted by all political parties and industry stakeholders with confidence, it does not matter how long I remain as the subject minister. If these policies are effective, they will be followed by successive governments as well.
Yet another initiative of Newsfirst's Gum Matter was vested in the public in Matara today. The Paragala Kanishta Vidyalaya in Kottapada, Matara, provides education to over 350 students. Until date, the only source of water to quench the thirst of these students was a pit of water located adjacent to a nearby paddy field. Since no steps were taken to address this issue, parents of the students informed the government Secretariat in this regard. Upon their request, the foundation stone for a new water supply system was laid in 2018. And today, this water supply system was vested with the students of the Paragala Kanishta Vidyalaya in Kottapala, Matara. Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, Sivan Daniel, and several other officials of Newsfirst attended the event. The project was financially aided by the German Alumni Association of Sri Lanka. The All Ceylon's Farmers Federation claims that a majority of farmers who suffered heavy financial losses due to the Sena caterpillar menace is yet to receive compensation. The national organizer of the federation, Namal Karunaratne, says that all farmers who suffered partial financial losses are yet to receive compensation. Farmers of the Damana locality in the Ampara district were affected the most due to the Sena caterpillar menace. News First inquired from the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board regarding the claims made by the All Ceylon Farmers Federation. The Director General of the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board, Panduka Veerasinghe, said that a sum of 240 million rupees has already been paid as compensation to farmers whose crops were completely devastated. He added that the payment of compensation is still underway and a request for 600 million rupees has been made to the government treasury. Meanwhile, a protest was staged opposite the Munragala Divisional Secretariat, demanding that compensation be paid to farmers who suffered losses due to the Sena caterpillar menace.
Compensation has been paid to farmers whose crops were completely devastated. However, compensation was also paid to some farmers who did not suffer any losses.
Today marks World Refugee Day. This year's theme calls for everyone to join together and take a step with refugees. According to UNHRC, there are approximately 25.9 million refugees worldwide. Of these, 2/3 come from 5 countries: Syria, Afghanistan, South Sudan, Myanmar and Somalia. The world's largest refugee crisis is reported in Syria with 5 million refugees. According to data from the UNHRC, there are 1,610 refugees in Sri Lanka at present. Among them are 829 people who have sought political asylum. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, issuing a statement, said, and I quote, "On World Refugee Day, my thoughts are with more than 70 million women, children and men, refugees and internally displaced persons who have been forced to flee war, conflict and persecution." Over 500 villages of Sengala Ilupayedichinne depend on livestock farming. But due to the prevailing extreme dry weather in the Batikla district, they are facing severe difficulties.
Livestock farming is the main source of income for the locals in the Sengaladi Ilupayadichenai village. People in the area and over 1,000 cattle suffer each day due to the lack of water for daily needs. Farmers are puzzled and helpless and they question their future due to this prevailing issue. They request the authorities to provide a solution immediately.
Ilupayadichenai village in Chenkaladi is an area where a lot of cattle farmers dairy farmers can be seen. A main problem that is faced by these dairy farmers here too is the fact that the cattle do not have adequate water and food for consumption as a result of the drought that can be seen in the area. The farmers spoke to News First and they raised the main concern that the authorities who are responsible for this show a blind eye to the problems that they face. For the News First team, I'm Saturanga Hapuarachi.